We are about to see the application of the KG44 system in a sea bream and sea bass fish farm pool. The pool in question is 16 meters wide and 6 deep, and a quantity of oxygen of about 3 cubic meters per hour is input from the bottom through a single panel. The air setting is purely arbitrary and can be increased or reduced according to requirements. The emission of microbubbles from the bottom of the pool generates a column that is distributed very widely through the whole volume of the pool, amounting to about 1,200 cubic meters. In these conditions, the microbubbles, which are extremely small, spread out and release their content in the water, thereby oxygenating it quickly and efficiently. We will see how this column spreads out from the bottom towards the surface, and we will be able to assess the impact this phenomenon has on the entire situation. Now we are observing the preparation of the oxygen bottle for connection to the diffuser. The diffuser will then be immersed in the pool and the gas will be opened with a flow rate, as mentioned above, of 3 cubic meters per hour in order to check the theoretical oxygen released to the water in the conditions we are working in. At this moment, the water temperature is 13 degrees, and therefore we have all the data required for assessing an operation of this type. In a moment, we will see that when we measure the oxygen dissolved in the pool before and after inputting oxygen, we were able to increase the value of dissolved oxygen by 1.5 points with 20 minutes input. This means that the efficiency of the system we have implemented is extremely significant. It is obvious that these performances are unrivaled by the technologies in use to date. And above all, the operating costs associated with this type of system are strikingly low. The KG44 produces a suitable quantity of oxygen for the farm at absolutely insignificant costs, around 2.5 euros for 24 hours with a flow rate of 1 cubic meter per hour. We are now looking at the start of the emission of microbubbles by the KG44 module towards the surface. We can see that the fish begin to gather around the oxygen column that tends to develop. As we all know, these creatures are able to detect the increased oxygen from great distances. It is very important to point out that the KG44 does not disturb the fish because, unlike the mechanical systems, it produces microbubbles without emitting any sound. The spirals of gas resemble swirls of smoke, so fine are the microbubbles emitted, and so they give us an idea of the scale of the contact area they are able to put into play. An approximate measure of the surface area in service is about 6,000 square meters per cubic meter of gas. The largest bubbles that are visible at the sides are the ones that permeate from the steel frame of the module itself, so they are technically generated by the geometry of the frame. The extent of distribution of the microbubbles released calls to mind the image of an explosion that spreads in the air. The key G44, which can be configured in different ways according to requirements, even with smaller arms positioned like spokes, makes it possible to tackle the normal problem of oxygenation with a method of regular distribution. Its versatility also allows it to be used in exceptional conditions, simply by increasing the quantity of gas. It is therefore a system that makes it possible to take care of the needs of the moment, even the most critical, without the help of machinery or power.